World Cup stadiums that have been abandoned, particularly ones that have undergone significant investment, such as the $1 billion venues, provide haunting and intriguing locations for urban exploration. Here are 5 key points that capture the haunting appeal and intrigue of these forgotten monuments. Number 5. Massive infrastructure, little use. Cities spend vast sums of money constructing massive, cutting-edge stadiums for the World Cup, which frequently serves as a nation's opportunity to shine on the international scene. These stadiums are more than just places to watch sports. They are representations of technological innovation, patriotism, and the potential for sustained economic growth. An excellent illustration of this kind of ambition is the Lusail Stadium in Qatar, which was built for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But reality sets in after the World Cup celebrations are finished. The first wave of excitement quickly passes, and many stadiums become unused, sitting in isolation in places with inadequate infrastructure, population, or demand for regular events. With little to no demand for these high-tech spaces, the infrastructure that had looked so promising in places like Brasilia, home of the Arena da Amazônia, suddenly turns into a resource drain. These once famous stadiums eventually turn into liabilities rather than assets, and their maintenance expenses exceed their revenue. Number 4. Decay and neglect. The overpowering feeling of deterioration and neglect is the most noticeable aspect of deserted World Cup stadiums. The pressure of time and desertion is causing the formerly immaculate, purpose-built structures to gradually crumble. The materials, whether steel, concrete, or glass, start to deteriorate if maintenance funds are not continuously available. While the interiors are left to the mercy of the weather and frequently become a haven for fungi, plants, and vermin, rainwater and moisture seep into crevices, causing mold and rust. While the chairs, once organized neatly and packed with fans, are frequently allowed to rot or even stolen for scrap, the artificial turf on the field may be replaced with overgrown grass. As explorers or criminals break in to steal or record their discoveries, they have occasionally become the targets of vandalism, with graffiti covering the walls. It is frequently difficult to comprehend that these locations were ever crowded with thousands of joyous onlookers when they are captured on camera or photographed. Rather, they appear to depict the tale of human aspirations colliding with the unrelenting passage of time. Number 3. Unfinished or underutilized projects. These World Cup stadiums were frequently built in a hurry to fulfill deadlines, with hurried design choices and cost-cutting tactics sometimes resulting in unfinished projects. The stadium, which cost millions to construct, is currently in Manaus, a city that does not have a local team with a significant enough fan base to support such a large arena, even though it is the entry point to the Amazon. Even though it still hosts occasional events, its usage is far lower than expected, which results in underutilization and expensive upkeep. Number 2. Social and political implications. These abandoned stadiums' social and political aspects are arguably the most contentious. It is frequently claimed that the local community will profit from the promise of economic progress brought about by the expansion of infrastructure and exposure to other countries. In actuality, though, a large number of these stadiums were constructed with little regard for the people they were meant to serve. For instance, numerous small communities in Brazil were uprooted in the run-up to the 2014 World Cup to create room for stadiums that would never be used to the extent that had been promised. Public outrage frequently ensues, with demonstrations against the extravagant expenditure on sporting facilities at the expense of local needs. As a result, after spectacular athletic events, these abandoned stadiums serve as reminders of the failure of governmental policy, in addition to being emblems of overblown promises. Number 1. Haunting aesthetic. For urban explorers and others who wish to capture the spectral remains of these once vibrant arenas, the most alluring aspect of these abandoned World Cup stadiums may be their eerie look. The sight of an arena that was intended to hold tens of thousands of joyful fans suddenly laying motionless and silent has a deeply unnerving quality. Originally designed to represent the future, the architecture today seems out of place, and in its isolation, almost dystopian. These voids serve as a sobering reminder of how fast enormous investments can become outdated as well as a tribute to the transient nature of human progress. These stadiums are the ideal location for many urban explorers to capture not only visuals but also feelings, such as decay, loss, and forgotten grandeur. The deterioration of these enormous constructions is a form of beauty and ruin. The majesty and grandeur are turned into something sorrowful and moving. As nature begins to reclaim the space, with vines creeping through cracks in the concrete, the contrast between human design perfection and the chaotic, uncontrollable force of time creates a scene that is as visually arresting as it is emotionally charged. The abandoned stadiums are no longer just sports arenas. They are monuments to the unpredictability of the future, reminding us of how fleeting fame, power, and even the best intentions can be. A clear reminder of how swiftly human endeavors, no matter how enormous, can become obsolete, leaving behind artifacts of a transient cultural moment. Are these abandoned World Cup stadiums? If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.